INFJs are often called the most mysterious of all personality types. They see through people, sense hidden intentions, and can read the emotional atmosphere of a room in seconds. But here's the paradox. When it comes to understanding themselves, they're often blind. Today, we'll uncover 7 things INFJs never truly understand about themselves and why those blind spots make them both fascinating and frustrating. 1. Their intensity. INFJs live life with emotional depth and conviction. To them, this intensity is just normal, but to others, their presence can feel almost magnetic or sometimes overwhelming. Whether it's the way they passionately defend their values, the way they love without restraint, or the way their silence speaks louder than words, INFJs leave an impression. What they don't realize is that people often feel like they're standing in front of a storm when they're around them. Their intensity can inspire, but it can also intimidate, and INFJs rarely understand the weight they carry. 2. The effect they have on others. INFJs often assume they blend into the background. They feel unnoticed, overlooked, or even invisible. But the truth is the opposite. Their words can linger in someone's mind for years. Their encouragement can shift the course of a life, and their presence alone often brings calm to chaotic situations. People tend to admire them quietly, sometimes even putting them on a pedestal. The INFJ, however, usually dismisses this impact, never quite realizing how much they shape the lives of others, often without even trying. 3. Their need for space. Because INFJs are naturally empathetic, they dive deep into people's emotions without hesitation. They can give and give, pouring themselves into friendships, relationships, or even casual conversations. But what they don't always realize is how much solitude they truly require to recover. It's like they only notice when they've hit a breaking point, suddenly vanishing, shutting off their phone, or retreating without warning. To others, it feels confusing or even cold. To the INFJ, it's survival. But they rarely understand just how much this cycle defines their lives. 4. Their hidden stubbornness. Most people see INFJs as compassionate, adaptable, and willing to compromise. And they are, but only up to a point. Once their values, morals, or loved ones are on the line, INFJs become immovable. Their stubbornness is quiet, but absolute. They may listen politely, nod, and smile, but inside, their decision is final. The INFJ themselves often doesn't see how rigid they can be, because they believe their convictions are simply the truth. But this stubbornness is one of their strongest and most misunderstood traits. 5. Their contradictions. INFJs are walking paradoxes. They crave deep emotional intimacy, but also need vast amounts of alone time. They want to be truly understood, yet they guard their inner world so tightly that almost no one ever gets in. They're dreamers and idealists, yet also sharp realists who can see things as they are. These contradictions leave others confused, but they also leave INFJs confused about themselves. They're constantly pulled in opposite directions, longing for connection while simultaneously pushing it away. 6. Their own strength. INFJs often see themselves as fragile because they feel everything so intensely. They may cry easily, absorb other people's pain, or collapse under the weight of empathy. But what they don't understand is how incredibly strong they actually are. Few people could carry the emotional burdens that INFJs take on. Few people could endure the inner battles that they face daily. And yet, INFJs rise again and again, quietly resilient, even when they think they're falling apart. Their sensitivity isn't weakness. It's proof of their strength. 7. How rare they really are. INFJs know they're rare, but most don't truly grasp what that means. Their way of processing the world, the constant layering of intuition, empathy, imagination, and deep analysis is not something most people experience. That's why they so often feel misunderstood or out of place. But what INFJs don't realize is that this rarity is precisely what makes them unforgettable. They see things that others don't, and they bring perspectives no one else can. Their uniqueness isn't a curse, it's their greatest gift. So here's the irony. INFJs can see through almost anyone, but when it comes to themselves, they're often blind to their own depth, contradictions, and power. Maybe INFJs were never meant to fully understand themselves. Maybe their mystery is what makes them so magnetic.